Hey guys, Luke and Jason here. We want to talk about some tips that we've learned over many years trading in the markets. So the first tip, I'll go and talk about day trading. So I actually was part of this really cool experiment that happened on Wall Street, where they took 40 interns and basically paid them to learn how to day trade.
It was a big firm, right?
It was a huge firm. It was probably the biggest on the street at the time. And the main takeaway was I was always glued to these amazing stocks, the big winning stocks, the BIDUs, the Googles, the Home Depots, all that type of stuff.
Right.
But the problem with day trading is that you have to close your risk by the end of the day. And then, when you're in a bull market, markets are up the next day. And then where you close the stock, you got to buy it back up, 1 point higher, 2 points higher.
Right. So it gaps overnight.
It gaps overnight.
And what about those good news? Hey, we blew out earnings. And you're like, I was long that stock yesterday.
Right. So the stock gaps up 8%. What am I going to do? Am I going to buy it? Am I going to fade it? The whole point is I couldn't figure out, why people would want to focus on day trading when they could make the lion's share of big money in stocks by holding them longer term.
Right. So you learned that the big money is in the waiting, is in the holding.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, that feeds into a little about what I learned on Wall Street. When I first moved to London, I think it was 2002, I was working for Cantor Fitzgerald in the UK. I used to earn dollars. I was now earning pounds. I was like, oh, this makes sense. I'll trade the dollar-pound currency pair.
Genius.
I'm going to make a bunch of money. Yeah, genius. So I traded, I think it was 21 trades in a month. And this is important because I lost on 19 of them.
Nice.
Yes, sir. So what did I learn? Why? Well, I was trading on emotion. I was trading on gut. I would see something race away. Oh, I got to own it. I'd buy it literally time right to the top. I'd watch it drop. I'd start losing money. I couldn't take the pain. I'd sell it and then watch it race higher, literally slamming my fist on the desk. I did this every time.
Maybe other people have actually had an experience like that too.
My boss actually traded the opposite because he saw how bad I was. And I'm sure there are other people out there like me. The important thing that I learned was I couldn't trade on emotion. I had to remove emotion from the process, right?
Yep.
And that gets to our other tip of why we built an automated trading system, right?
Yep.
Because we wanted to incorporate your lessons of the big money's made over time. We want to incorporate remove emotion, focus on data, right? And what are the things we like to see? Companies that grow their sales and earnings over 1 and 3 years. They have huge profit margins. They manage their debt levels. They have moats in their all this good stuff fundamentally. And then the big money is flooding in. And what do we call those stocks?
Those are the juice stocks.
The juice. They have the juice. We're looking for that juice. And that's in a very small subset of the market. We look at 5,500 stocks.
Yep.
And we're talking about a handful.
They're basically outliers.
Right.
They're the ones that people know about, the Apples, the Netflixes, the Exxon Mobils, the Walmarts, tobacco stocks.
Right. Stocks that go up tens of thousands of percents over decades.
Gotta hold.
And sometimes they go up 100, 200% a year, 300%. We had one last year. The important thing that we learned, let our pain and our knowledge work to your advantage because, we stripped all that stuff out to come up with this winning formula of ours, right?
Yep. So, that's a good tip is, if you're sitting at home and you can't automate a process, all that basically means is have some rules in place.
Yeah.
Right? There's certain types of stocks that we like to buy. There's certain types of stocks that we don't want to buy. We've just learned, why mess with stocks that have no fundamentals, that are just garbage stocks, right?
That's right.
Penny stocks, just statistically, you're going to be giving your money away. You're better to give it to charity. And then I think the major takeaway, I think the biggest tip that even some of my friends, when they ask me, Luke, how do I make money in stocks? The real key is to get yourself an outlier stock. It's a good stock. It's not going to be an obscure stock that nobody's ever heard of. It's going to be, usually a big stock that's growing and all that. And then you got to hold for a long period of time.
Right.
You hear about the guys, if I would have known about Amazon 20 years ago. But would you have held it for 20 years?
But who did know about Amazon? the big money.
Yes.
Because they were the ones who were buying it. So you want to focus on those stocks that are super healthy, that big money is chasing over and over and over again, because they're just going to keep lifting it higher. That is what we focus on, right? All day, every day. And by the way, we just talk like this all day long.
Literally all day. And we're going to close out the video just like this.
Right. So we love you. We'll see you next time.